The sound of laughter echoed through my phone, soft at first, then turning into something cruel, intimate. My hand froze over the steering wheel as my wife's voice spilled from the car speakers. "Baby," she whispered, "he still thinks I'm at the gym. He's so pathetic sometimes." Then came the voice of another man, low, confident, mocking. "Let him think that. As long as he pays the bills, we're good." My world went silent after that. I didn't hang up. I just sat there, motionless, as my heart tore itself apart. The Bluetooth had connected automatically, and in that accidental connection, I'd uncovered the betrayal that would burn every corner of my soul. I met Elena 7 years ago, when I was a struggling architect barely making enough to keep the lights on. She was radiant, the kind of woman who made everyone in the room feel like they weren't enough. When she smiled at me, I felt chosen, like the world finally noticed me. For years, I worked late nights, took extra projects, just to give her the life she said she deserved. The house, the car, the vacations. Everything she wanted, I built from the ground up. That morning, I was driving her car because mine was in the shop. She'd left early, saying she had a yoga class. The Bluetooth connection had been automatic. What I heard wasn't meant for my ears. It was meant for her lovers. Her laughter replayed in my head all day. It wasn't just betrayal, it was mockery. She wasn't just cheating, she was enjoying it. For days, I said nothing. I watched her lie. I watched her send work texts that made her smile. I watched her body language shift when her phone buzzed. I started recording her calls through the car system. Every word became evidence. Every giggle another dagger. The man's name was Derek, her gym trainer. Of course. The perfect cliché. At night, while she slept, I'd sit at my desk, playing back their conversations through my headphones. My rage wasn't explosive, it was silent, calculated. The kind that doesn't fade, it evolves. I started planning. Not a moment of forgiveness crossed my mind. I wanted her to feel the same humiliation I did, only worse. Revenge wasn't about hurting her physically. It was about destroying what she valued most, her image, her control, her pride. I opened a fake email account, sent her own recordings to Derek's wife. Then I waited. Days later, the explosion came. Derek's marriage imploded publicly. His wife posted screenshots, voice clips, everything. The scandal reached his workplace, and within a week, Derek lost his job. Elena came home crying, pretending to be the victim. "They're saying awful things about me online. Someone's spreading lies." I stared at her, expressionless. She had no idea I was the storm behind it all. But watching her cry didn't give me satisfaction. Not yet. Not enough. Revenge needed to be complete. It needed to scar. That's when I decided I wouldn't leave her immediately. I'd let her think she still had control. I'd make her fall into her own trap. The real game was only beginning. I became everything she wanted, again. Attentive, affectionate, patient. She thought the chaos was behind us. She thought I didn't know. While she smiled at me across the dinner table, I was transferring assets, redirecting accounts, preparing legal traps. I created a fake business opportunity in her name, one that looked promising, investment in a boutique fitness brand. I used my connections, set up fake meetings, and watched her excitement grow. For the first time, she initiated intimacy again. She thought we were rebuilding. I almost laughed during those moments, imagining her shock when she'd realized the truth. Her investment was actually a financial setup. Every penny she poured into it came from our joint savings. But on paper, it was all hers. Her name, her signature, her liability. I made sure of it. When the deal collapsed, and the authorities came knocking about missing funds, I stood beside her, the picture of a supportive husband. She was panicking, crying, screaming that she didn't understand. "Don't worry," I told her softly. "I'll handle it." But I didn't. I watched. I watched her lose the calm arrogance she'd always carried. The whispers from friends started, gossip about the scandal, her fraud, her affair. She was becoming a social outcast, exactly what I'd planned. One night, she confronted me, trembling. "Do you know what's happening? Someone's trying to destroy me." I looked her dead in the eyes. "Maybe it's just karma catching up," I said, voice low and cold. Her face turned pale. In that moment, she knew. Her tears didn't move me. Her begging didn't matter. I'd already turned my heart into stone. But the satisfaction still didn't feel complete. Revenge wasn't satisfying. It was addictive. It wanted more. It wanted total ruin. So I went further. I leaked her private messages, made sure the online hate consumed her. Friends stopped talking to her. Her job fired her quietly. She became a shadow of who she used to be. Every morning I'd watch her sit on the couch, empty-eyed, staring at her phone. The once arrogant woman, now completely broken. I should have felt victory. Instead, I felt hollow. But I refused to stop. Not yet. Months passed. My revenge was complete. Her reputation was ashes. Derek had moved away. Elena barely spoke anymore. She looked haunted, thinner, fragile. One evening, she approached me with a shaking voice. "I know what you did," she whispered. "You destroyed everything. I deserved your anger, but not this." I didn't respond. She stared at me for a long time. "You think you won," she said. "But look at yourself. You don't even smile anymore." When she left, suitcase in hand, broken but breathing, the house felt cold. I told myself I didn't care, that I'd achieved justice. But weeks later, when I passed by the mirror, I barely recognized the man staring back. The satisfaction I dreamed of was nowhere. Just emptiness. Her betrayal had killed something inside me. But my revenge had buried whatever was left. I thought I'd destroy her life, but in doing so, I destroyed the last trace of peace in mine. Revenge doesn't end with the enemy's pain. It becomes a mirror, reflecting the monster you've become. I got what I wanted, and yet, I'd never been more miserable. Skull moral of the story. Revenge may satisfy your anger, but it always demands your soul as payment.